Hi, my name is Deborah Henney. I'm a wife, author, mother, speaker. Today I want to release a prophetic word called Take a Breath. Now, I originally started to receive this word on the 3rd of February of 2023, and it came more fully on the 5th. And I remember distinctly when I started to receive this word, I was going through a little bit of a rough patch with another individual in my life, and it was really hard. It was pretty hard at the time, and all that God kept saying for me on my end was breathe in my grace and breathe it out over this person. And I remember literally at a function, I stood there and he said, breathe it in, breathe it out. And I visualized that breathing in his grace and breathing it out. And, God works miracles and God brings healing. And through that, learned that grace not only frees us from our sin, it is so healing. It's healing not only to the relationships, but to our own hearts and the wounds that we kind of pick up throughout life along the way. But anyway, here's a prophetic word called take a breath. It says, pause, take a breath. Breathe in my grace. Breathe deeply and let my breath, my grace, deliver life, deliver strength, deliver power into you to accomplish the work I have set before you. Breathe out and release my grace to those around you. Do not withhold. Do not hold back my breath of life from going forth through you to others, but as freely as I have given, freely give. Allow my grace to be seen through you in your life without reservation, for it is through this release that I will upbuild, fortify, and strengthen both lives and the knitting between the lines. Pause. Take a breath. Breathe in my presence. As the revelation of my grace grows, even as it overflows, it will enable you to enter more deeply into the depths of my presence. As you allow yourself to be drawn more deeply into my presence, my grace will empower you to release those things, those entrapments, and deeply tangled entanglements that would hinder your ability to enter into my deepest chambers, where nothing but my holiness and purity can abide. In this secret place, this place that many have tried but few have actually ventured into, that I am calling you into. It is a place of great exchange. My glory for your humility, my power for your obedience. I long to deeply commune with you, my people. I long to share my heart and deepest thoughts. Will you come? Will you accept my invitation? Now I have to say, since February to now, having, as I've said multiple times, as a prophet, he often has you walk out and live out those prophetic words that he releases in you as he weaves it into us as a living revelation. It's incredible. As I'm reading the second part of this pause, take a breath, it'll enable you to enter more deeply into the depths of my presence. What a promise. And he's been doing that. And if he does it for me, he can do it for you too. If you allow him to fill you with the revelation of that grace, and as freely as you give, don't withhold it. Breathe it in, breathe it right out. As I say in voice therapy, take that breath in and breathe it right out. Don't hold it. And it's healing. It heals our hearts. It talks about empowering us to release us from those things, those entrapments and deeply tangled entanglements that hinder us from going into his deepest chambers. Now, we often think of chambers as a room, and it is, but so many times he's been correlating this word chambers with his heart and the chambers of our heart and of his heart. So entering into the deepest realms of his heart that he says so many have wanted and started to venture into, but didn't get there because they didn't choose humility. They didn't choose obedience. They didn't choose to freely give grace to those around them as they have received it. So there's a huge promise here, a huge promise for glory and for holiness and purity, that so that nothing in this world can satisfy. And I have to tell you, as he's been drawing me deeper into his depths and deeper into his heart. And it's kind of shocking how those little human thoughts, let me back up a little bit. He's been teaching me the practice of the presence so deeply, going deeper and deeper and deeper into his presence every day, in the every single, even in the mundane of my day. And it's amazing how those human thoughts that come, that can just pull you right out of that presence, pull you right out. And it's usually something that's critical. And it doesn't even have to be like a nasty criticism, just something slightly critical. Because the word is grace, built up in grace, fortified through grace, knitted together in grace. And that's knitting together between one another and between us and the Lord. Because God didn't call us judges, he called us peacemakers. And that's what he called us to be. So I just want to encourage you. There's nothing like it on the planet or in the universe. There's nothing like the presence and the glory of God. And those thoughts that we get, that we want to we want to hold on to them because maybe it makes us somehow feel justified or feel right. It's not worth it. It's not worth the greater glory of God. So if we will freely breathe in and breathe out his grace, so it is natural, it is freely received and freely given, he's saying he's going to draw us deeper, not only in holiness and purity, but into the glory. And like I said, as you start to taste it, as you start to get drawn in to it, nothing in this world is going to satisfy. I just want to encourage you to go for it. You can, and I love the visualization. I love visualization, so I love that he did this word as a visualization word. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Don't withhold it. Don't hold it in and right out. It's life to you and it's life to those around you, and it'll bring greater and greater measures of life in the presence of the Lord and the glory of God. Till next time, blessed.